Alright guys, today we are going to be reacting to things I don't like about Germany. As a British person, thank you so much for the support, guys. We're going to simply jump into this video. Make sure before you start the video, subscribe to my channel. Let's jump in, guys.
I don't think I'm gonna get away with a title like that without a disclaimer, huh? I was born and raised in the UK and have been living in North Rhine-Westphalia in Germany for about 2 years now. I just thought it would be fun to compile a list of problems I've experienced since living here for you to laugh at and call me uncultured. So if you're expecting some insightful political commentary from this video, I don't know what to say to you, to be honest. I thought the talking cat thing made that pretty obvious. Also, obviously, I've only ever lived in this one small part of Germany, so my list here probably doesn't apply to the whole entire country. So if you have any different experiences as a German or someone who's also moved here, please go ahead and tell me how my personal experiences are wrong and aren't like that where you're from, as if I didn't just say that 5 seconds ago. So, auf geht's.
Give me old school vibes, like
People
Sega Dreamcast.
stare. So when I'm out and about, I will often speak English with my fellow English-speaking friends. It's my native language, so I can better express my love of every dog in the world. But the moment one English word escapes my lips, everyone within a 5-mile radius is glaring in my direction. Look, I get it. Not that many people speak English around here, and it's interesting to hear a language that you understand at least a little bit of in the supermarket. And I won't lie, I too gasp loudly and mouth English to my friends, but I don't stare at them. Where I'm from, everyone minds their own business so hard that they wouldn't interfere in a mugging out of fear of annoying the victim. So it feels super uncomfortable to be stared at all the gosh darn time.
No, I have to go back to that. What did this cat say?
Minds their own business so hard that they wouldn't interfere in a mugging out of fear of annoying the victim. So it feels super uncomfortable to be stared at all the gosh darn time. Even when I'm not doing anything. Not speaking English or anything. Just casually walking up to my house. Stared at. Why don't you take a picture? It'll last longer. Did you actually... Okay, that's fine, I guess. Netflix. German Netflix sucks, okay? There's barely any selection compared to the UK, and significantly less compared to the US for the same price or even higher. I get not being able to make every show available in certain countries for legal, copyright, whatever reasons, but surely you can compensate for that by lowering the price? At this point, even YouTube Premium is more worth it. You get to watch all the videos you want with no ads, and support your favorite creators significantly more, and get access to, like, one good original show? What were we talking about again? Oh yeah, German Netflix bad. The language. I know I already talked about the language in my Things I Love video, but I have kind of a love-hate relationship with it. Those who are familiar with it probably know exactly what I'm about to say. Articles. I'm going to explain this extremely simplistically, so please don't use this as a reference for your homework. So you know how English has the word the? Well, German has 6 different ways of saying the word the. There are basically different rules that apply based on the context and type of word you're using. But even if you've learnt all the rules and understand what to use in which context, you can still say it wrong if you don't know what type the word is. Except for a few different circumstances, there is no way to figure out whether a word is masculine, feminine, or neutral. You just have to know it. And this concept gets applied to many other words, including adjectives. You can't just describe a ball as red, you have to reference that ball is a masculine word, and consider what is happening to the ball, and what is its relation to other things in the sentence. It is something you start to pick up on more, the more you hear and read the word, but even Germans forget what article words have sometimes. Supermarkets.
And I can imagine
supermarkets here
using German in a lot of regions that will probably even confuse you more, right? But I think it's one of those things that you have to just use it a lot to just get used to it.
are not that great compared to my hometown. Sure, you got Lidl and Aldi, which are great in terms of value, but they barely have anything. So if you need something more specific, you have to go to one of the bigger stores, which also doesn't always have it, or is out of stock. This probably sounds really petty, and yeah, it is. Everything on this list is really petty, but come on, I'm not advocating for change or anything, I just wanted to make a dumb video. But you have to understand, supermarkets in the UK are huge. Not all of them, there's small and medium-sized ones too, and I have to point that out or people in the comments will get mad at me. So yeah, compared to the ones in the UK, my local supermarkets have barely anything and are constantly out of stock. And this is why I order takeout way more than I should. No, that's just cause you're too lazy to cook food. Yeah, another one that was also on my love list. Of course I still love German food, but I'm honestly missing a lot from England. Cheese, for example. I cannot find a cheese in Germany which is as
No way. You're crazy. Germans are very well known because of their cheese as well.
delicious as British cheddar. But German stores do have cheddar. No, this is not cheddar. This tastes nothing like proper British cheddar. I'm very passionate about cheese, okay? Public transport. The trains here have their days. You're essentially flipping a coin as to whether it'll be there early and you can get in and sit down already, or an hour late. Or it will just disappear entirely and never show up. I was waiting for a train once, and I'm super paranoid about traveling on my own, so I have to make absolutely sure that I'm in the right place and getting on the right train, so I don't end up in Amsterdam or whatever. So I was using this app. It's just a train app, an app for trains. And it's actually pretty cool, because you can type in where you are, where you need to go, and it finds all the trains you can take, but I was mostly using it because it shows you the progress of your train, like which stop it's at right now, which one it's going to next, and how long it's going to take to get to your stop, stuff like that. So I'm waiting for the train, staring very closely at the app when the big display says it's delayed by 20 minutes, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna be late now, that's cool. But there's no other trains for like an hour, so I have to wait it out. So I wait.
Well, this is the complaint that a lot of people have in Germany regarding the Deutschbahn, especially the Deutschbahn. Now, the Deutschbahn is not a public transportation; it's more like a private entity. And it seems that private it's like a public-private entity, like it's a mix of both. So I don't know. That's kind of interesting.
25 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Eventually, it's gone from the display completely, and I'm like, huh? Look at the app, and it's apparently reached its destination. But the thing is, this is the only way the train could have gone to get there. There was no way it would have gotten there without crossing through my stop, which it didn't do. It didn't pull into a different platform either, so I don't know, it fell into a black hole or something, I guess. So I get on a different train and sit in front of the display because paranoid. It looks like the one on the app, so I can be absolutely certain that I get off at the right stop. So it's kind of a long train, so I'm sitting there chilling, and after a while, my stop starts to come up, and I notice a little message. I didn't know German very well at the time, so I text my German friend like, what does halt in failed mean? So yeah, they were just not stopping at my stop anymore. And I wouldn't have noticed if I wasn't staring at the display, because there was no announcement or anything. So I had to get off at a different stop, take a train back to my stop, and all in all, I was about 2 hours late. Needless to say, I'm glad I don't go to school here, because I could barely even deal with the nightmare that was buses in the UK.
That's funny, man.
So that's about it. Obviously, despite the few downsides, I still really enjoy living here. If you're interested,
Yeah, I guess that's basically part of living in Germany, right? Seeing like that public transportation, when it comes down to the trains, they're still working on it. Although they give great service, it's just that when it comes down to that transportation itself, the train that is, it's not as reliable, I guess. But it's a great opportunity, you know. As an American, it cannot be worse than New York City. Train transportation. I'm telling you that right now. It cannot be worse. It cannot be worse. Let me know what you guys think, guys. I will see you in the next one.